Remember to subscribe and like the video because we have huge things coming. What if Peyton Manning came to the Redskins in 2012? Peyton Manning is one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play football. He is widely considered top 5, if not top 3, only truly behind Tom Brady and Joe Montana. He won Super Bowls with the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos. But what if he was left to be the quarterback for the Mike Shannahan-led Washington Redskins instead of the Broncos in 2012? Let's get into it. First of all, the Redskins Front Office would not have made the ludicrous trade to move up to the 2nd overall pick and therefore would not have selected Robert Griffin III. Washington already had a good team, so adding a veteran like Manning would only help the Skins in their quest for a 4th Super Bowl title. The biggest thing that would be affected by this monumental move is the future of the Redskins franchise. The 6th overall pick was sent to the Rams, along with DC's 2013 and 2014 first-rounders, as well as a 2nd-round pick. There were some great players available to select with those picks, such as Bobby Wagner, Luke Kuechly, and Stephon Gilmore. Adding one of them to a team that already had playoff aspirations would only give the Redskins even more potential. The rest of the 2012 draft would be much different as well, at least for the top couple picks. The Colts would stay with Andrew Luck, but who the Rams would pick would be a mystery. They had quarterback Sam Bradford entrenched as the starter, but many intriguing receivers were on the board, such as Marvin Jones Jr., Mohamed Sanu, and Alshon Jeffrey. The rest of the draft would be relatively the same. The Redskins had fallen deep into dysfunction by the time 2012 rolled around. They needed a polarizing player to bring back the notoriety they had in the 1980s and early 1990s. Robert Griffin III seemed to be the savior of the team. He and running back Alfred Morris took the league by storm, but success was not immediate. Even worse, Griffin was injured in a game against the Baltimore Ravens. The team would rally behind fellow rookie signal caller Kirk Cousins to finish the year with a 10-6 record. In the playoffs, Griffin was back under center for the nation's capital, but against the Seattle Seahawks, he was hurt again. The Redskins would end up losing that game, and with that, they also lost the magic that Griffin brought to the team. But what if he wasn't the quarterback? Would Peyton Manning have carried the Redskins to the promised land? Let's dive into how far he truly would have carried them. When Griffin went down against Seattle, the game was over. His style of play was not sustainable, and prior injuries throughout the season made it impossible for him to play at full strength. Peyton Manning, on the other hand, was purely a pocket passer, known as one of the smartest players to ever play the game of football. Manning would have no problem meshing with the likes of wide receivers Deshaun Jackson and Pierre Garcon. There would definitely not be the same risk of injury as there was with Griffin. He would be the polarizing player the team was looking for, while also providing a strong veteran presence and mentoring Kirk Cousins. However, improbable it may seem, that Redskins team could have gone to the NFC Championship game. With a wealth of talent on the defensive side of the ball and a veteran under center, Washington would be a team with no glaring weaknesses. Another huge thing that would be impacted by Peyton Manning's signing in Washington would be the NFC East. Notorious for not having a repeat champion over 15 years, Manning might have been the player that helps the Redskins break that streak. The whole makeup of the NFC East would be completely different. It is quite possible that the star players we see playing in the NFL's most accomplished division today might be wearing a different team's jersey. Coaches that were fired or simply not re-signed would likely have different fates. Players who exceeded expectations also could have not planned out. Late round picks who didn't go to their original teams could just as well have not been given ample playing time. They wouldn't realize their potential and wouldn't become stars. The Denver Broncos would not have won a Super Bowl without Manning, and the Seahawks would not have beaten those Broncos 2 years previously. The Patriots would have been affected by this as well. Tom Brady played and lost to Manning in the AFC Championship game. So without Manning there, Brady and Belichick may have yet another Super Bowl ring. By the time Peyton retired, Kirk Cousins would have been in the league long enough for substantial growth, especially with Manning's tutelage. Assuming the team was successful, Jay Gruden would have never been hired, and Cousins would not have had to go through the franchise tag standoff that occurred recently. They would likely be set up for success. Overall, if Peyton Manning had chosen Washington over anywhere else, we would most certainly be looking at a vastly different league. Redskins fans, look on the bright side. If they did succeed because of Manning, when he eventually retired or left the team, Bruce Allen would still be the awful general manager that was fired this offseason. Remember to subscribe and like the video because we have huge things coming.